Well, JC, how do you prepare to face such a dominating defense like the Patriots?
Yeah, I mean they're an extremely talented group, well coached. They execute everything well. A lot of it's just preparation. I think they do a lot of things, and they've got a lot of different pieces that they can put in the same positions that make things look different. But it's a lot of the same stuff, but they kind of disguise it well. So a lot of that's film study, understanding your game plan. So I think it's a week you need a lot of preparation and a lot of film study and making sure you know kind of what they're actually showing you and not what they're trying to show you.
You have a good feel for Collins from him being here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's doing some different things there than he did here, but he's a really talented player, and they use him well there. So it'll definitely be a challenge for us, but I think we'll be able to handle what we can.
What are the elements that he brings for them that you have to be considered?
He's very instinctive and very athletic. I mean, he's a big, strong guy, but also quick and elusive, and can give you troubles pass rushing. I mean, he's just a really good overall player.
Freddie said pretty much knows who's the starting five for this game. We don't. Given that he's made his probable decisions, how do you think things are going in practice with the offensive line?
We feel confident. We feel confident who we got and what we're going to do. And that's about executing and about playing well as a group, a cohesive unit. And that's what we have to show on the field. So I think practice has gone really well this week. We feel really comfortable, but it's going to come down to how we play on Sunday. And that's what we got to go out there and do.
If there are changes, because he won't say whether there have been changes or not, but if there are changes, how difficult is it to do sort of midstream here in the season, or having the bye? Was that a good time if you're kind of changing?
Yeah, I mean, again, it never. I mean, there are changes with injuries and people get. I mean, you're used to that as an offensive line, so it's never really a worry for us. We practice with different guys rotating in every week. Going back to week one, we had different guys rotating in the lineup. So none of it's new or it's not a problem for us. We've worked with everybody. You in training camp, you worked with everybody and you did, steps with everybody and talking meetings with everybody. So all that stuff's not that big of a deal for the offensive line because we've been together in the same room and doing the same technique for the entire year.
JC, not to imply anybody would ever be slacking, but when there's going to be a change within a group, does that sharpen everybody's focus? Does everybody kind of have to step it up a little?
I mean, I think overall, where we were going into the bye week, that was something everybody did. Everybody kind of looked in the mirror and understood that they had to bring more to the table, preparation, practice, game-wise, everything. So I think that's not got everything to do with it. I think a lot of it's we understood 2 and 4 is not good enough, and we have to make those changes to ourselves and then to the unit as a whole. But that's team-wide. That's not just offensive line. It's not receivers. That's everybody went back over that week off and kind of looked in the mirror and had to have some tough conversations with themselves.
You weren't facing New England's offensive line, obviously, but from the standpoint their coach has done what he's done for a long time, and they have a system there. Do you look in on a team like that, or them specifically every now and then, just to see how that plays out?
Yeah, I mean they do some things differently, but I mean they've as an organization have been a model of success, and they've done some amazing things. Even just this year, what they're doing on defense. And their offense has always kind of been clicking, but that entire organization is something to look to and kind of see how they do things. Because I mean, being on top for that long without really a drop off is something I don't think we've seen before.
You guys have new coaches dealing with your group, head coach, coordinator, position coach, all new, and the pieces along the line are somewhat new to each other. I think you're probably the old man of the group in terms of experience here. But New England's the opposite. Their guys have been together for a while. The staff's been together for a while. How long does it take to get to that point where you're kind of cohesive and all on the same page?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a difference between cohesion and then execution. I think we're cohesive. We know what we're doing. We know where we're supposed to go. It's about executing at that point. So I think that's something that we in spurts show both. We show our cohesion and we show our execution, and then we've had spurts where we don't. So I think with Freddie and Todd and Campy and Blasco and all of us, every new piece we bring here, we've been together all through OTAs, training camp, almost half the season now. But we're all on the same page on what we need to do and how we're supposed to do it. Now it's about going out there and doing it the right way.
JC, from a statistical standpoint, you know, Nick Chubb's or you guys are among the league leaders in average yards per rush. You know, you guys are tied for like giving up the second fewest quarterback hits. 16 sacks isn't great, but it's middle of the pack.
Yeah.
So my question is, those numbers don't appear to maybe be as bad as the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it that you guys have been focusing on as a group, as the chief area of improvement, or where you maybe have been a little deficient? Because
Yeah.
looking at the stats, it doesn't seem as bad as maybe people
Right.
think.
Yeah, I think you know, we don't pay too much attention to narratives and what, you know, the spin is on it. I think you know, the numbers are what they are. Sometimes those can be deceiving too. But I think we as a group try to hold ourselves to an extremely high standard. So even some things we know we can get better at, and we go into games with our goals and what we're trying to accomplish. And they're lofty goals, but that's what we're striving for. I mean, we're striving to keep Baker clean at all costs. You know, we're striving to let Nick get to the second level untouched, and then, you know, we know what he can do. So, you know, we don't get too caught up in, you know, what we're perceived on the outside. You know, we're a pretty tight-knit group in there. We know what we're capable of, and we know what our goals are. And then it's about us coming together and accomplishing those goals. And, you know, each week is a different battle. But, you know, we know what we want to do, and that's about just us coming together and doing it.
How is Danny Shelton? How does he look on film, and what kind of load is he to?
Yeah, I mean, a big man, strong, powerful. He's got, you know, kind of a club rush where if he feels you leaning too much, he's got that powerful kind of hook under your arm to throw you off balance. You know, and I mean, he's a talented player. I think he's been playing really well over there the last couple of years. So it'll be a tough job, but you know, luckily, you know, we've all, you know, a couple of us had some experience with him in practice, you know, being here when he was here. So it's just going to be, again, just be at executing and knowing our technique.
When last year there was a bunch of changes in the middle of the year, coaching staff,
Yeah.
but also on the offensive line, Greg coming in, you guys ended up playing well down the stretch. Does that? I mean, I know every situation is different, but does that kind of having that situation as a frame of reference give you some optimism that a change can be good?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, you know, the switching of people and rotating guys in, that's never really a cause for concern for us, at least, because we're just used to it. We're used to getting in with different guys in practice and taking reps. So, you know, if there's changes or issues like that, that's not really a worry. Obviously, it's something that, you know, we've shown that. You know, last year we make a change and, you know, we play, you know, pretty well down the stretch, and, you know, it shows that, you know, that's not as big of a deal as a lot of people look at it as. So I think that's really what it proves more than anything, is just that's, you know, it doesn't fix any issue. You got to go out there and execute, but it's not really you know, something that's going to cause a huge panic or anything if a change is made.
Is there a little part of every player that wonders what it would be like to play for the Patriots or for Belichick?
I don't know. I think I mean, we all know guys, so we all know what it's like to play for the Patriots, because, you know, you can ask every guy that you know that's been there. But again, I think, you know, what they've accomplished, and you hear stories about how they work and what they do. I mean, it's an impressive organization. It truly is. You know, they come to work every day, and it seems like, you know, starting from the top down with Belichick and Tom, and, you know, they really strive hard to be the best, and, you know, they bring everybody along, and everybody buys into the system. So I think it's not that everybody wonders. I think you know, but I mean, I think everybody knows how impressive what they've done is and what they continue to do is.
Todd Monken was saying today how critical it is for the center and the quarterback to be on the same page in terms of the calling out of protections. And Mayfield, of course, is a young quarterback. Is that still a growing process where you guys speak frequently with each other about you know, what you saw in the game last?
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be the process. I mean, even, you know, my time in Green Bay, I mean, you still had conversations with Aaron. You know, even, you know, the older guys would have conversations with Aaron about. So that talk and that communication never ends. You know, you're always making sure you guys are on the same page, because so much of the offense is dictated on making sure the center and the quarterback are both seeing the same thing. So the communication is so important. That's not once you get to year 3, it's kind of like you never talk about it again. That's always so important to the overall flow of the offense, that those two guys need to be on the same page.
How's he going, Baker, in terms of understanding what you're telling him on the field?
I mean, Baker's very smart. I mean, it's not. We're both seeing the same stuff. So I'm not telling him anything he doesn't see. A lot of it's just in the week of practice, understanding. Hey, this is where I'm going to go. Are you good with that? And that way we can play fast on Sunday and both understand the same thing. When we get a certain look, we're both seeing it the same way. So a lot of that's kind of preemptive communication where we talk about it earlier in the week. That way when we hit Sunday, there's not a stall or a look we haven't talked about. We've covered everything.
Kieran get asked about their run defense.
I don't think so.
I mean, if you look at all their unbelievable stats, that looks like one that's an average. Like giving up 4.2 a carry. Is that somewhere? I mean, I know you've had success with Nick. Is that somewhere you guys feel like you might be able to exploit something?
I mean, we always want to run the ball, but again, I think sometimes I'm not, questioning the stat, but sometimes the way they've won so many games, you run 7 times when you're down, 20, and they're playing pass defense, and you get a couple cheapy 10-yard gains, and that number gets skewed. So I think those statistics can always be manipulated. So I think they still have a very quality run defense. They've been put in situations where they're obviously thinking they're going to pass, so you play more for that side. But I think that's something we go into every game thinking we need to get the run started, and that kind of gets our whole offense started. We can get Nick going and take some pressure off their rushes. It makes everybody's job easier.